A Message from the Stars is a cooperative game with a theme of first contact between humans and aliens. One player is the alien and they're trying to communicate a message to the humans, who in turn are trying to communicate a message to the aliens, only they don't understand each other. This is a topic that we have seen in countless movies, novels, and also in some games. I remember playing First Contact, the board game, with great delight a couple of years ago. This is similar to First Contact in that sense, at least in the topic, but the mechanics are very different. We start with the alien. We'll decide who that person is, and the alien will be sitting behind the screen here. Most of what we see here will go on the other side of the screen in the real game. The screen has these slots here where you will place cards from this deck. The cards are ranked into uncommon, tough, and common letters, and each card has one letter of the alphabet, each letter being represented exactly once, meaning if a letter is there, it cannot be there or there. We shuffle these letters at the beginning of the game, though the alien does that, and then the alien places cards in those slots based on those requirements there. So say we keep flipping cards until we find a common one, then we put it in that slot. Then we keep flipping cards until we get an uncommon or a tough, and we put it there. I already done that for you earlier, but that would be the general idea, with the only exception that you can only have one tough total in your display. So if you get it early on, then you simply discard the ones that may emerge later until you have these 6 cards placed on your screen and divided into 3 categories: the trust, the amplify, and the suspicion. We'll see what those mean in a little while. So each team, including the alien, who is a team of 1, has a message to deliver. Each team draws a card randomly, the humans from this deck, the alien from that deck. Suppose we have this card, that's the one that we drew, and then the team rolls this die 3 times to select a random word, and so you're gonna have a sentence Mad Lib style. Our ultimate goal is to balance our, say, jobs with hobbies, only then can we achieve dreams. Or in the alien maybe has this card here, and after rolling dice, they're trying to tell us that we admire your architecture, in particular your supercomputers, which destroy politics. Say, crazy stuff like that. And so you mark those things. You also have little standees so that the card should be facing the owning player. This is what I'll see if I'm the alien, and the humans are seeing their own message. Now we start communicating. We play 4 rounds. Each round, each team sends a message to the other team. So we start with the aliens sending one message. They will write a word, any word in the English language, on this card here. And suppose that they decide to write waffle. After they select a word to write, they need to score it. They turn it into a numerical value based on the values associated to the letters on the display. You see the trust, it says the letters are there, they count as +1. So I'm counting 1, 1, and 1. That's a value of 3. Waffle. 3, I don't see any other letter in there. Well, not any from those. Each letter in the trust section is +1. Each letter in the amplify section multiplies by 2. So actually, suppose it was waffles. Now I have 1 and 1 and 1 is 3 times 2 is, now I am at 6. If the letter in the suspicion section is in the word, which it is, then I give them a negative number. And so, -6. 1, 2, 3 times 2 is 6, minus because it's suspicious. And then I give this card to the humans who start suffering, who start analyzing it, and they start using their deductions. For example, there is a negative number in there, they will have display, and so they know that one of these letters is the sus letter, so they can maybe circle W, A, F, L, E, and S. One of them must be the whatchamacallit, the suspicion letter, and so on and so forth. If the value is odd, then the letters in it cannot possibly be in the amplified section, because that's times 2, instead it would be an even number. After that, the humans will also write down a word, so to test the hypothesis and try to figure out basically which values are attached to each letter. At the same time, however, remember, they're trying to communicate these things, so the words that they're looking for should be related to the content, the meaning of the words that they are indicating here. We're trying to balance jobs and hobbies to achieve dreams. And so what if they write sleep, hoping that the alien later will think about dreams. Maybe utopia would have been better. But anyways, they give that to the alien, and now the alien, again looking at the screen, will tell them what the value is. I see 0, 0, 0. This is times 2, but it's multiplying with a 0, and so there's a value of 0. And now the humans have to think about that. Based on what I see them marking there as the alien, I think of my next word. And this time, I need to let them know about supercomputers. And so I'm gonna write down chips. That's not... I don't know, video. How about video games? Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of these words. So I need to worry about that. Look, I'll just give you a random word just for the sake of it. Saffron. That's probably a bad choice because it doesn't have to do with the things I wanna. Just to give you one more example. A is +1, F and F is +1. These are the letters I don't see them anywhere, so I'm again a 3. And I have an S, and so 3 times 2 is 6. We continue like this until each team has exchanged 4 words, and the alien has ranked them all mathematically, and then the game is over and we get to the final guesses. The alien tries to guess the 3 words of the message, after they get to see the card, they get to see the options, but they had to guess the 3 words, and they only have similarities between the clues that they received and the words available to go on. The humans tried to guess the 3 words of the alien, and they have both the meaning of the words and their inferences about the numerical values, plus, and then the humans try to guess which letters are there. It's 1 point for each correct guess, so you have 3, 3, and 6. You have a maximum of 12 points that the team can score. The highest you score, the better you did. This is a very unique game, and don't worry if you don't really understand how it works from my description. I definitely had no idea how it worked after reading the rule book, and I thought we just need to play it. And I explained it to my friends, and they were completely confused. And as we start playing it, and I give them the first puzzle, because of course I'm the alien, what else? Then they said, okay, there is a minus, so one of these letters must be the suspicion letter, and so on and so forth. Then they start seeing it. And there is fun enjoying that, but not for everybody. Maybe more fun than joy, because it is a very cerebral, very cold, dry puzzle, as quiet and cold, I guess, as the vast void of space. In space, no one can hear you crunch numbers and turn them into letters, I guess. Luckily enough, mercifully enough, there is also an app that you can download where it translates the words into the numerical values to make sure you don't make mistakes. And I use that because I wanted to be also sure, because I guess if you make a mistake as the alien in round 2, and then all of the human guesses are wrong based on that, that completely ruins the game. So I do recommend using the app. Now, My friends, some enjoyed the coldness of that puzzle, and some really did not. Because again, it's deduction games all have that element, but somehow there are deduction games that have more of a human element, more of a guessing element, and I just felt that they were, looking at them, they were just working on this mathematical puzzle without a lot of joy of engagement. Maybe that's the right word. Everybody was doing their homework, but at a certain psychological distance, with the exception of this one guy who really seemed to enjoy it, and it was kind of like driving the action around a little bit. The problem with the Alien, the game lasted a little over an hour, probably also, yeah, I would say a little more over an hour, including also teaching the rules. And I, as the Alien, played maybe 10 minutes of it. Sure, it was engaging and interesting to try to figure out a puzzle, seeing what they know, figure out a letter that has to do with the content so I can communicate the content, and yet also is giving a new information. But that really took me more than a couple of minutes. And after that, they are working on the word for maybe 10, 15 minutes, and I have absolutely nothing to do. And so in that sense, as the Alien, I experienced absolutely the worst, single worst downtime that I experienced in a long time, maybe ever. Maybe ever. That in a game that lasted over an hour, I was playing maybe 10 minutes. 15? No, not really. When they send me the word, incidentally, there's no choice there. I am immediately put it into the app and giving them the value, and of course then they want to analyze that. So there's that complete discrepancy. I almost thought, do we need to have an Alien? I mean, couldn't this just be a game that you put on your phone, that you enter a word and the app tells you the value? Because clearly the app can do it because the app does it. And really the only twist, the only difference here is that you need a human to also, on top of the value, give you things that have to do with the general meaning to give you clues. But honestly, I think today you can have a language model that does that selects words with a certain numerical value, and also that has links with other words. Honestly, I'd be interested in playing as the human with a video game that does that, completely automatizing the Alien. That could be a fun little thing. But I don't know that is all that interesting or exciting, at least for the Alien, at least for me. Maybe if you really enjoy crafting those amazing puzzles, and there's going to be value in the Alien, but I found that role to be less interesting and especially less engaging because there were just long stretches of time with absolutely nothing to do. The first time we played it, we scored 8 out of 12, so we even did pretty good, but the reactions were pretty lukewarm. Actually, at the end, a friend who played the game, a player told me, hey, that was not bad, but now can we play something fun? And we did, because next we play Floristry, and that's going to be the subject of my next video.